Alright, Karina baby, today is September the 15th, and I miss you so incredibly much. It's not even, it hurts. It really does. But we're going to get through yet another day. Today is the 15th of September, and it is getting cold outside. Alright, can we sign cold together? We're going to take our fists, squeeze them, and shake them. Cold. It's getting cold outside. Alright, so the next story is The Toad Princess. Once upon a time there was a king and queen who had a son called Wilfred the Wonderful. To be honest, Prince Wilfred wasn't all that wonderful. He had knobby knees, his ears stuck out, and he was terrible at math. One day the king said, "It's time you got married, Wilfred. The world is full of beautiful princesses. You are sure to find a wife." So Prince Wilfred got on his bicycle and went all over the place searching for a bride. He met lots of princesses who were all very beautiful, but they didn't seem to like him. "You've got knobby knees," said one. "Your ears stick out," said another. "And you're terrible at math," said the third. Prince Wilfred pedaled home sadly. He had just opened the palace door when a toad hopped on his foot. It was fat, with lobby brown warts. "Yuck!" cried the prince. The toad leaped on his shoulder and whispered in his ear, Remember, remember, I'm Princess September. One kiss and you'll see the real lovely me." "Kiss you?" shrieked Prince Wilfred. "Not likely. There's no need to be rude," said the toad. "Who really was a princess? A wicked witch cast a spell on me, just because I tripped over her broomstick. Now I have to find a prince to kiss me and break the spell." "Well, don't look at me," said Prince Wilfred. "I am looking at you," said the Toad Princess, smiling as sweetly as she could. For a toad, that is. "I hear you haven't had much luck in finding a wife, with your knobby knees and sticking out ears, and I could help you with your math." "Really?" said Prince Wilfred, suddenly looking at the Toad Princess with interest. "Are you good at math?" "I can add, subtract, and multiply," she said. That did it. Prince Wilfred thought she was the cleverest thing in all the world. So he shut his eyes tight and kissed her. When he opened them again, there stood the most beautiful princess he had ever seen. Prince Wilfred fell in love with her at once, and they were married the next day. The princess kept her promise and helped Prince Wilfred with his math. She even taught him to say his times tables backwards. Oh my, what talent the young princess had, huh? And the young prince. That's when people should be getting married, when they're like 15 and 16, really. Now, for our bodies, like, that's when people used to get married back then, I should say. So, alright, so we are on the Bronze King. And we're going to start after this photograph. There it is. You see it? They're probably singing sea shanties and doing all kinds of things. Alright. And was reduced to being a carrier of dust and rubbish. The gardener's son said to him, "Tell me, what is your name? What is your family from? What country do you come?" "I am the son of the prime minister of the great nation, and yet you see what a disregarding opposition I am reduced. Listen to me. Though I do not know anything more about you, I am willing to help you. I will give you a ship to take you back to your own country. But only upon one condition," said the son of the gardener. "Whatever it may be, I accept it willingly. Follow me to the palace." The minister's son followed the rich stranger, whom he had not recognized. When they reached the palace, the governor's son made a sign to his slaves, who completely understood the newcomer. "Make the ring red hot," commanded the master, "the mark of the man with it upon his back." The slaves obeyed him. "Now, young man," said the rich stranger, I am going to give you a vessel which will take you back to your own country. And going out, he took the bronze ring and said, Bronze ring, obey the master. Prepare me a ship of which the half-rotten timbers shall be painted black. Let the sails be rags, and the sailors infirm and sickly. One shall have a lot of leg, another an arm had lost a leg, the other had lost an arm. Most of them shall be covered with scars. Go and let me order be executed. The minister's son embarked in this old vessel, and thanks to favorable winds, at length reached his own country. In spite of the pitiable conditions in which he returned, he was received joyfully. I am the first to come back, said he to the king. Now fulfill your promise and give me the princess in marriage. So they began to prepare the wedding festivities, and the poor princess was sorrowful and angry enough about it. The next morning at daybreak, a wonderful ship, with every sail set, came to anchor before the town. The king happened that moment to be at the palace window. What strange ship is that? He cried. That he has golden hull, silver masts, and silken sails. And who are the young men like princes whom man it? Do I not see St. Nicholas at the helm? Go at once and invite the captain of the ship to come to the palace. Very soon it came, an enchantingly handsome young man, dressed with rich silks ornamented with pearls and diamonds. Young man, said the king, you are welcome, whoever you may be. Do me a favor to be my guest as long as you remain in my capital. Many thanks, sire, replied the captain. I accept your offer. My daughter is about to be married, said the king. Will you give her away? I shall be charmed, sire. Soon after, in came the princess and her brethren. Why, how is this? Cried the young captain. Would you marry this charming princess to such a man? But he is my prime minister's son. What does that matter? I cannot give your daughter away. The man she is brethren to is one of my servants. Your servant? Certainly. I met him in a distant town working as a dustman and a rubbish collector. I had pity on him and engaged him as one of my servants. It is impossible, cried the king. Do you wish me to prove what I say? This young man returned in a vessel which I fitted out for him, an unseaworthy ship with a black battered hull. The sailors were infirm and crippled. It is quite true, said the king. It is false, cried the minister's son. I do not know this man. Sire, said the young captain, order him to be stripped and see if the mark of the ring is not fretted upon his back. The minister's son, to save himself from such an indignity, admitted the story was true. And now, sire, said the young captain, guess who I am. I recognize you, said the princess. You are the gardener's son, whom I have always loved, and it is you I wish to marry. Young man, you shall be my son-in-law and no one else, cried the king. The marriage festivities are already begun. And that very day the gardener's son married the beautiful princess. Several months passed. The young couple were as happy as the day was long, and the king was more and more pleased with himself for having acquired such a son-in-law. But presently the gardener's son felt it necessary to take a long voyage on his golden ship, and after embracing his wife tenderly, he embarked. Now in the outskirts of the capital there lived a wicked man who had spent his entire life in studying in the black arts, alchemy, astrology, enchantments, and magic. The magician found out one day that the gardener's son had succeeded in marrying the young princess only through the help of the genies who obeyed the bronze ring. "I will have that ring," said he to himself. So he went down to the seashore and caught some little red fishes that were wonderfully pretty. Then he went back and passed before the princess's window. He began to cry out, "Who wants some pretty little red fishes? Who wants some pretty little red fishies?" The princess heard him and sent out one of her slaves, who said to the old man, "What will you take for the fishies? A bronze ring, a bronze wing? Old simpleton, and where shall I find one?" "Under the cushion of the princess's room." The slave went back to her mistress. "The old madman will take neither gold nor silver," said he. "What does he want then?" "A bronze ring that is hidden under a cushion in your room." "Then find the bronze ring and give it to him," said the princess. The slave found the bronze ring which the princess's husband had accidentally left behind. She carried it to the magician, who made off with it at once. Hardly had he reached his own house when, taking the ring, he said, "Bronze ring, obey thy master. I desire that the golden ship shall turn to black wood and the crew to hideous old men. Saint Nicholas shall leave the helm, and the only cargo that it shall carry will be black cats." And the genie of the bronze ring obeyed him. Finding himself upon the sea, in the miserable condition, the young captain understood someone must have stolen the bronze ring, and he lamented his misfortune loudly. But that did him no good. "Alas," he said to himself, "whoever has taken my ring has probably taken my dear wife also. What good will it do to go back to my own country?" And he sailed about from island to island and from shore to shore. Soon his poverty was so great that he and his crew and the poor black cats had nothing to eat but herbs and roots. After wandering about a long time, they reached an island inhabited by mice. There were mice everywhere, nothing but mice. The black cats, not having been fed for several days, were fearfully hungry, and made terrible havoc among the little creatures. Then the queen of the mice held a council. "These cats will certainly eat every one of us," she said, "if the captain of the ship does not shut the ferocious animals up. Let us send the bravest among us to help to ask him this." Several mice offered themselves for this mission, and set out to find the young captain. "Captain," they said, "go ahead quickly for our island with your black cats, or we shall perish, every mouse of us." "Willingly," replied the young captain, "upon one condition. Bring me back the bronze ring which some clever magician has stolen from me." The mice withdrew in great dismay. "What is to be done?" said the queen. "How can we find this bronze ring?" She held a new council, calling in mice from every quarter of the globe, but nobody knew where the bronze ring was. Suddenly 3 mice arrived from the far distant country. One was blind, the second was lame, and the third had had her ears chopped. "Ho, ho, ho," said the newcomers. "We came from a far distant country. Do you know where the bronze ring is which the genie obeys?" "Ho, ho, ho, we know. A wicked man has it. He keeps it in his pocket by day and in his mouth by night. Go and take it from him and bring it back to us as soon as possible." The queen of the mice instructed them. So the 3 mice made themselves a boat and set sail for the magician's country. When they reached the capital, they landed and ran to the palace, leaving the blind mouse on the shore to take care of his boat. Then they waited till it was night. The man lay down in bed and put the bronze ring into his mouth. Very soon he was asleep. "Now what shall we do?" said the two little mice to each other. The mouse with the chopped ears found a lamp full of oil and a bottle full of papers. So she dipped her tail first in the oil, then in the papers, and held it to the man's nose. "Achoo! Achoo!" sneezed the man. He did not awaken, but the shock made the bronze ring jump out of his mouth. Quick as a wink, the lamb mouse snatched up the precious talisman and carried it off to the boat. Imagine the despair of the magician when he awoke and the bronze ring was nowhere to be found. But by that time the three mice had set sail with their prize. A favoring breeze was carrying them towards the island, where the queen of the mice was awaiting them. Naturally, they began to talk about their daring rescue of the bronze ring. "Which of us deserves the most credit?" each cried all at once. "I do," said the blind mouse. "Without my watchfulness, our boat certainly would have drifted away to the open sea." "No, indeed," cried the mouse with the chopped ears. "The credit is mine. Did I not cause the ring to jump out of the magician's mouth?" "No, it is mine," cried the lame mice, "for I am off with the ring." And from high words they soon came to blows, and alas, while the quarreling was raining, the bronze ring fell into the sea. Alright, so all three of them helped to get this bronze ring, right? One watched the boat, one made him sneeze, one grabbed the mouse. Who deserves the credit? They all do. It is a shared effort, alright? It's great to be a part of a team, but you don't have to be the best in the team. You just have to be a part of it. Alright, so now the bronze ring fell into the sea. "How are we to face our queen?" said the three mice, "when by our folly we have lost the talisman and commanded our people to death by the cats. We cannot go back to our country. Let us land on the desert island and there end our miserable lives." No sooner said than done. The boat reached the island and the mice landed. As the blind mice wandered sadly along the shore, she found a dead fish and was eating it when she felt something very hard. At her cries, the other two mice ran up. "It's the bronze ring! It's the talisman!" they cried joyfully, and getting their boat again, they soon reached the mouse island and returned the ring to the captain. "Bronze ring," commanded the young man, "obey thy master once again. Let my ship appear as it was before." Immediately the genie of the ring set to work, and the old black vessel became once more the wonderful golden ship, with sails of brocade, brocade, with sails of brocade. The sailors, young and handsome again, swiftly ran to the silver masts and the silken ropes, and very soon they set sail for the capital. Ah, how merrily the sailors sang as they flew over the glassy sea. At last the port was reached. The captains landed and ran to the place where he found the magician asleep. The princess clasped her husband in a long embrace. The magician tried to escape, but he was seized and bound with the strongest of cords. The next day the magician was tied to the tail of a mule loaded with nuts and broken into as many pieces as there were nuts upon the mule's back. So the magician got in trouble for stealing the ring, right? Alright, Karina baby, let's do a sea shanty, since that book was about the sea, but let's do... There once was a girl down in my alleyway, hey, bully in the alley. Once was a girl in Shinbone Alley, bully down in Shinbone Alley. So help me Bob and bully in the alleyway, hey, bully in the alley. So help me Bob and bully in the alley, bully down in Shinbone Alley. Once was a girl that I loved dearly, way, hey, bully in the alley. Once was a girl that I spliced nearly, bullied down a shin bone now. So help me, Bob, and bully in the alley, way, hey, bully in the alley. So help me, Bob, and bully in the alley, bully down a shin bone now. All she did was dilly and dally, way, hey, bully in the alley. So help me, Bob, and bully in the alley, bully down a shin bone now. I left my girl to go a-sailin', way, hey, bully in the alley. Left my girl to go a-whalin', bully down a shin bone now. So help me, Bob, and bully in the alley, way, hey, bully in the alley. So help me, Bob, bully in the alley, bully down a shin bone now. If I ever get back, I'll marry little Sally, way, hey, bully in the alley. Have 6 kids and live in Shinbone Alley, bully down a Shinbone now. So help me, Bob, and bully in the alley, way, hey, bully in the alley. So help me, Bob, and bully in the alley, bully down a Shinbone now. Karina, baby, I love you, and I miss you, and I can't wait to see you. I think about you all the time. Mama's actually really sad because I don't have you right now. I try to just keep my days going, just trying to keep moving forward, because the more I move forward, the quicker I'll get back to you. I know that. It's all gonna be okay one day. I promise. It's not okay today, it wasn't okay yesterday, but it's gonna be okay one day, I promise you. Karina, baby, Mama loves you. Mama loves you so much. I miss you so much. I dream about you all the time. I miss you. Lila Tove, and good night to you. Lila Tove, may your dreams come true. We sing Lila Tove, may Israel protect you throughout the night, until we reach the morning light. Karina, baby, I love you, and I miss you, and I can't wait to see you. And like Papa always used to say, Mama's Papa's sun, Papa's my moon, and you're quite literally our rainbow baby, and we both love you. We both love you so much. I love you, and I miss you, and I can't wait to see you, honey. I miss you, and I love you.